Hello, so today's video is going to be about therapy causing trauma. I have gone through therapy throughout my life. I am 41 now. My first experience with therapy was when I was 20, between 20 and 21, and that actually shaped my understanding or what my desire was from therapy. My first experience with therapy was after being sexually assaulted in college. And I went to the therapist that was provided by my college, and she was a Black woman that was absolutely amazing. I mean, so amazing that I thought that's how all therapy was. That's how I thought all therapists were. Her name is Dr. Faith Parks, and after that experience with therapy, I saw the value in therapy, and I saw the value in being able to talk to someone about issues, someone that didn't have anything to gain, someone that would have my best interests at heart. The problem is that most therapists are not Black women, and most therapists are not equipped to deal with the issues of a Black woman. And guess what? I am a Black woman. So that's why I say therapy causes trauma. I have had therapists in the past that I thought that I connected with, and after a couple of sessions, they either started saying that I had problems just like everybody else and there wasn't anything, different about me, which is, could be comforting. But when you're going to someone talking about a problem that you have, you want to be seen and heard, not clumped or lumped into the collective that everybody has these problems, right? I also had therapists that would start talking about their lives. Now, I know that there is some possible value of that, but again, that wasn't my first experience, and those experiences caused me trauma. I also, throughout my life, ended up finding a therapy group that was focused on people of color, Black and brown people, and this was in Oakland, California. And my first experience with one of these therapists was her basically telling me some of the same things that I had heard from other therapists that did not look like me. She basically said that I was dealing with things just like everybody else dealt with, and then she also started talking about her life and some of the issues that she has. And I walked away from those sessions, and I only had 3, I believe. I walked away from those sessions just feeling really defeated, feeling really unheard, and really recognizing the fact that if I didn't have the ability to look at the bigger picture, if I didn't have the ability to want to go on, that those sessions would probably have taken me over the edge. And I realized that what she was doing was dangerous, and what she was doing was causing me trauma that, like, similar to the trauma that I had experienced before. Now, granted, trauma, if you're this is a word that is being thrown out there a lot these days, but it's something that I have worked with on my own, and that I've worked with people. And I am also a yoga instructor that uses a trauma-informed approach, and I work with people one-on-one or in very small groups. So I'm very aware of little t trauma, big T trauma, things that are triggers. That's another word that's kind of being thrown out there. So I don't use the word trauma lightly. I am aware of what I'm saying and why I'm saying it because of my experiences with myself and with those that I have worked with. So I recognize that this woman was traumatizing me, and that if I didn't have the desire to really go deeper for myself, that I might have gone into a major depressive state or been completely overwhelmingly anxious. So I actually wrote the clinical director and told her, about my experience, and she set me up with someone else. And this other person was late for our first session. And I don't mean, 5 or 10 minutes late. I mean 25 minutes late for our first session, which made me anxious. There was no communication about her lateness, text or anything letting me know that she was going to be late. And, that was my first experience with having a therapist be so late. And, when it's someone new and you're trying to build trust, being late is just not something that is cool. And so I went through that first session and I, tried to open up, and I realized that I couldn't because I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel respected, and I didn't feel like, she really wanted to be there. So, that's why I say that therapy can cause trauma. Not all therapy causes trauma. I think it is very important to find someone that you resonate with. There are many different modalities of mental health care. There are psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, counselors. I think it is important to find someone, if you feel the need, that resonates with you, but also be aware that these people, that the therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, are still people as well. And they are not infallible. They, have their own issues, and they're supposed to leave their issues outside of the therapy door, but that doesn't always happen. So don't allow therapy to cause you trauma. If you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you are not being heard, that you aren't being respected, or any of the above, separate yourself. If you feel like you're going in circles, evaluate. There is value in getting help. There is value in speaking with someone about your little t, your big T trauma, your emotional issues, things that you may have gone through in the past, things that you're going through now. But it's also important to recognize that some therapy can cause more trauma than the trauma you've already experienced. And if you aren't prepared, if you aren't in a space where you can evaluate that, then you may want to do a little bit of interviewing of therapists before you decide on one. Meaning having, one session, 1 or 2 sessions with a couple different people to see who's really a good fit for you, because everyone is not a fit for everyone. So that's why I call this video Therapy Causes Trauma, because therapy did cause me trauma. And therapy caused me trauma because my first experience with a therapist was amazing. My first experience with a therapist was after being sexually assaulted, and my therapist was a Black woman, and we connected on levels that I had not been able to connect with since. So thank you for listening. I hope that if you decide to go with therapy, you take these things into consideration. I think it's also important to have support in other areas of your life. So, I've gone through therapy while having a coach, because a therapist can't help you with aligning your business, right? A therapist can help you with boundaries, but they don't hold you accountable in a certain way that a coach can hold you accountable. So that's why I'm grateful to know and understand that there are many pieces to the puzzle that can that there are many pieces of the puzzle to make it a complete puzzle, and all of those pieces don't necessarily come from one place. So it's important to know that you have the ability to get help in different ways that you may not have been told about. Praying about something and giving it over to God is not enough, because that can cause you even more trauma, because that can cause you to question your faith if that's where you are. that can cause you to question yourself in ways that are traumatic and not healthy. So that's another thing, especially in the Black community, we're taught to pray about it and give it over to God. And I am not telling you not to pray, but I'm also telling you to be proactive. And proactivity can look different for different people. You got to figure out what resonates and what fits best for you. And only you can determine that. Even when you were in a state of disarray, even if your mental health is not at the space where you want it to be, if you take the time to sit with yourself, you can understand where it is that you need to go next. If you don't have the ability to sit with yourself, find someone that you trust. Find someone that you know cares about you that can help you navigate that space and that's open to different areas of help and different areas of healing. We have generational things that need to be healed that can't always be addressed in a therapy session. Sometimes it takes deeper work that a coach can help you with. Sometimes it takes deeper work that meditation needs to help with, that cleansing, that other healing modalities can help you with. So all that to say, mental health therapy, psychologist, psychiatrist can cause you trauma. Not all the times, but it can happen. So if you're in that space where you're feeling that, it's okay. You can hit the reset button and find someone that you work better with. So if anything that I've said resonates with you, leave me a comment. Say yes, I get it. Love it, like it, share it. All of that will be appreciated. I am a coach. I do work with people that want to really heal themselves, that want to increase their income with the gifts that they have, whether it be a small business or side hustle or something creative, artistic, music, whatever it is. I have a lot of history working with a lot of varied people. So DM me if you'd like to know more, and look out for the next video. Thanks.